What's up people, and welcome to Quick Maths. In this video I'll be going through how to use the quadratic formula to solve quadratic equations. So what is our quadratic formula? It's x equals minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. And remember, what is the standard form of our quadratic equation? It's ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. And from here, it's simply substituting the values of a, b, and c into the quadratic formula. So let's work through a few examples. Okay, let's work through our first example. The equation is x squared plus 4x plus 3. We know our quadratic formula is equal to x equals minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Now we want to find the values of a, b, and c. So a is equal to the coefficient in front of the x squared, which is 1. B is equal to the coefficient in front of the x, which is 4. C is equal to the constant over here, which is 3. Now it's a matter of substituting the values of a, b, and c into our quadratic formula. Doing this, we get x equals minus 4 plus or minus the square root of 4 squared minus 4 times 1 times 3 over 2 times 1. Solving this, we get minus 4 plus or minus the square root. So 4 squared is 16. Minus 4 times 1 times 3 is 12. So you get 16 minus 12, which is 4, over 2 times 1 is 2. So this equals 2. Minus 4 plus or minus 2 over 2. Solving this, we get two values of x. So x can equal minus 4 plus 2 over 2, which is minus 2 over 2, which is minus 1, or x equals minus 4 minus 2, which is minus 6, over 2, which is minus 3. So we have two values of x from the quadratic formula, which is x equals negative 1 or x equals negative 3. Okay, let's work through example number 2. So our equation is 2x squared minus 4x minus 30. And the quadratic formula is x equals minus b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. We know the value of a is equal to 2. The value of b is equal to minus 4. And the value of c is equal to minus 30. Okay, now let's substitute these values of a, b, and c into our quadratic formula. Doing this, we get minus b, which is 4, plus or minus the square root of minus 4 squared, which is 16, minus 4 times 2 times minus 30 over 2 times 2, which is 4. So this equals 4 plus or minus the square root of 16 minus 4 times 2, which is 8, times minus 30, which is minus 240. So a minus and a minus becomes a positive. So you get 16 plus 240, which is 256 over 4. And this equals 4 plus or minus the square root of 256, which is 16 over 4. And doing this, we get two values of x, which equals 4 plus 16 over 4, which is 20 over 4. So x equals 5, or x equals 4 minus 16, which is minus 12, over 4, which equals minus 3. So using the quadratic formula to solve this quadratic equation, we get x equals 5 or x equals minus 3. Okay, let's work through our final example. X squared minus 5x plus 10. Our quadratic formula x equals minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So the value of a here is equal to 1, b equals minus 5, and c equals 10. Now let's substitute these values into our quadratic formula. We get x equals minus b. So we have minus 5, which is 5, plus or minus the square root of minus 5 squared, which is 25, minus 4 times 1 times 10 over 2 times 1, which is 2. Solving this, we get 5 plus or minus the square root. So 25 minus 4 times 1 times 10, which is 40. So we get 25 minus 40, which is minus 15 over 2, which equals 5 plus or minus. So now we have a square root of a negative number. And we rewrite this as the square root of 15, and we remove the I out of the square root. And I represents the square root of a negative number. So finish writing this, we get over 2. So here we have two values of x. So x can equal 15 over 2 plus the square root of 15 over 2i. Or x equals 5 over 2 minus the square root of 15 over 2i. So, using the quadratic formula to solve x squared minus 5x plus 10, the values of x we get are as follows. And these are imaginary roots. So, I hope you have learned how to use the quadratic formula. Thanks for watching.